24 interesting, helpful and fun facts about Sicily in Italy. The Italian region of Sicily. Sicily is the largest island of the Mediterranean Sea. It's located to the left of the foot of Italy. Some would say it's the football waiting to be kicked by that same foot. But Sicily is far more appealing than being described as a football. This video highlights many reasons why Sicily is very different to the rest of Italy, and it's no coincidence that Sicilians are very proud of their heritage, to the point that they refer to themselves as being Sicilian and not Italian. So, is la dolce vita, the sweet life, applicable to Sicily? You bet it is. Check out the 24 interesting, helpful and fun facts about Sicily in Italy, as follows. Number 1. Geography. The area of the island is about 26,000 square kilometers, about 10,000 square miles, and is just 2 miles from the region of Calabria on the Italian mainland at its shortest crossing across the sea, known as the Messina Strait. There has been continuing talk for many years of the Italian government ordering a bridge to be built over the strait for decades, but to this day, nothing has happened. Considering the nature of Italian politics, this shouldn't be of any surprise. When driving on the island, you can expect the journey to take about 3.5 hours from west to east, and about 2.5 hours from north to south. Number 2. National Parks. The National Park of Sicily is Nebrodi. Number 3. A brief history of Sicily. Sicily wasn't always part of Italy, and was very much an independent nation for nearly 750 years. The island first attained independence in 1071, when the Norman adventurer Robert Guiscard extricated Sicily from Muslim rulers. In 1130, Roger II of Sicily declared the island an independent kingdom that ruled over Sicily until 1816. In 1816, the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies was created when the Kingdom of Sicily merged with the Kingdom of Naples. And then, in 1860, the unification of Italy began in Sicily, when more than 75% of Sicilians voted for the annexation by the Kingdom of Sardinia. Finally, on March 17, 1861, the Kingdom of Italy was declared, replacing the Kingdom of Sardinia. Apparently, Sicily is technically still an autonomous region of Italy, which may help explain why many Sicilians don't refer to themselves as being Italian. Number 4. The economy. Sicily has a predominantly agricultural economy with a high unemployment rate. Despite partial industrialization and increasing tourism, 75% of the island is devoted to agriculture, with over 10% of the Sicilians employed. The rest of the economy focuses on services, such as tourism, industry and construction. The cost of living in Sicily is very affordable, being one of the lowest in Europe. The Provinces of Sicily. Number 5. There are 9 provinces, with each one having its capital with the same name as the province. They are 1. Agrigento, 2. Coltanissetta, 3. Catania, 4. Enna, 5. Messina, 6. Palermo, 7. Ragusa, 8. Siracusa, and 9. Trapani. Number 6. The population. Sicily has about 5 million inhabitants, making up just under 10% of the overall Italian population, and is the 4th most populated region of Italy. It's reckoned that about 2 million Sicilians have left the island in the last 160 years or so. There are a number of reasons for the exodus. The first one was at the time of the unification of Italy in 1861, when a compulsory 7-year military service was imposed by the government. The government then sent 30,000 soldiers to the island to quell the ensuing revolt. Then, there were a number of natural disasters, including diseases that also affected the vineyards and the subsequent livelihoods of thousands of people, and a massive earthquake in 1908 killing about 90,000 people. In the ensuing 50 years up to the start of the First World War in 1914, it's estimated that about 1.4 million Sicilians left the island to search for better lives, with most going to America. Another 500,000 Sicilians are estimated to have left the island during and after the Second World War. Today, the population is about 5 million people, which compares with Rome's population of about 3 million. Number 7. The capital city of Sicily. Palermo is the capital city of the island, located on the northwest coast. Number 8. The language. When the first settlers from Greece arrived in Sicily almost 2,800 years ago, Greek was the main language for the first 1,600 years. Sicilian is now the local language, recognized as such by UNESCO, even though the official language of today is Italian. Owing to its diverse history, there are about 9 dialects of the Sicilian language. To be clear, Sicilian is completely distinct from Italian, and is not a dialect, but a different language. Number 9. Sicily's name and its people. The Old Greek name of Sicily was Trinokria, which means 3 headlands or capes, being Peloro in the northeast, Cosero in the south, and Lilibeo in the west. Its people are called Sicilian, in English, and Siciliano and Siciliana, in Italian. Number 10. Mountain ranges. Sicily is home to Mount Etna, the tallest active volcano in Europe, with Mount Vesuvius near Naples being the second highest. Located on the east coast, it's over 3,300 meters tall, about 11,000 feet. Mount Etna erupts on a fairly regular basis, almost every year. And there are also several other volcanoes on the island too, although only 2 others are active, being Stromboli and Vulcano. About 85% of Sicily is made up of hills and mountains. Number 11. The climate. Sicily has a Mediterranean climate, which means summers are hot and dry, while winters are mild and often wet. The island experiences all 4 seasons, with noticeable transition and temperature changes for spring and autumn, fall. Number 12. The coastline. There are 3 different seas lapping the shores of Sicily, with 1. The Ionian Sea in the east. 2. The Mediterranean Sea in the south, and 3. The Tyrrhenian Sea in the north. The island has more beaches and miles of stunning coastline than any other part of Italy. Sicilians are blessed with going to the beach, swimming in the pristine clear seas, and participating in the national sport of cliff diving. Number 13. Airports. Palermo and Catania are the main international airports of Sicily, while the smaller airports of Trapani and Comiso mainly serve the low-cost airlines of Ryanair and EasyJet from the UK and the rest of Europe. If you're wanting to visit, work and live in Italy, quickly check out the ongoing collection of news, reports, resources and courses on this channel that'll make your introduction to expat life in Italy. And La Dolce Vita. Even sweeter. It's so easy. Just click on the subscribe button below, and then click the grey bell icon to ensure you don't miss out on future videos being uploaded. Plus, watch this video to the very end where you'll get access to a special report packed full of helpful ideas for when you visit or consider living in Italy. And now for 11 more interesting, helpful and fun facts about Sicily. Number 14. There are 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Sicily. These are 1. Agrigento's Valley of the Temples. 2. Arab Norman Palermo and the cathedral churches of Cefalù and Monreale. 3. Mount Etna. 4. Siracusa and the rocky necropolis of Pantalica. 5. The Aeolian Islands. 6. The Baroque towns of Val di Noto, and 7. Villa Romana del Casale. Number 15. The sonnet originates from Sicily. Despite many people thinking that a sonnet was invented by William Shakespeare, it was actually invented in Sicily by Giacomo de Lentini during the 13th century. The word sonnet, which comes from the Italian word sonetto, means little poem. A sonnet is a rhyming poem of 14 lines. Number 16. The mythological monsters of the Strait of Messina. Despite the Strait of Messina between Sicily and Calabria being narrow, the sea channel is extremely dangerous with very strong currents. Sailors should always be very wary as they pass through. Legend has it that 2 mythical monsters, Scylla and Charybdis, sat on each side of the channel, preying on passing sailors. Number 17. Sicily has the largest opera house in Italy. The Teatro Massimo is situated in Palermo. Built in 1897, it has a capacity of 1,387 seats. At the time it was built, It was the third biggest opera house in Europe after the Palais Garnier in Paris and the Vienna State Opera. However, Milan's La Scala has more seats, although as far as structures are concerned, Teatro Massimo is bigger. The Teatro Massimo also features in The Godfather, Part 3 film. Number 18. The Mafia. The first mafia in Italy emerged in Sicily in the 19th century. Known as the Cosa Nostra, the Sicilian Mafia started out as a group of men effectively becoming vigilantes offering protection to other Sicilians by helping to retrieve their stolen goods and cattle from thieves. Considering the turmoil that was created when the unification of Italy took place in 1861, and the disturbances on the island as mentioned earlier, it either led to or created the environment for such an organization to be created. Unfortunately, it quickly evolved to become a protection racketeering business, where the locals were bullied into paying for their protection. During the Second World War, the Sicilian Mafia helped the Allies against the Nazis. "The enemy of my enemy is my friend," is an often said phrase, and that's what followed during the Allied invasion of Sicily. By 1943, Nazi Germany, aided by the fascist Italian leader Mussolini, effectively occupied the island. The Sicilian Mafia were very anti-Mussolini, and helped the Allies' amphibious invasion by providing maps, photographs and local knowledge of the island's harbors, coastline and geography. However, the Cosa Nostra is still a very real social issue, and one which the people of Sicily are trying to move away from. Tip: be respectful and don't upset the locals by mentioning the subject of the Mafia. Number 19. Malta was part of the Kingdom of Sicily for 700 years. Malta is now an independent country. However, it used to be part of the Kingdom of Sicily from 1091 until the early 1800s when it became part of the British Empire. Number 20. Places to see. 1. The ancient city of Siracusa. Siracusa was one of the biggest Greek cities of ancient times. It's situated on the southeast coast of the island. Founded and built by the Greeks in 734 BC, what started out as a settlement quickly expanded over the years to the point that by 415 BC, the city was as big as Athens, the capital city of Greece. 2. Palermo has its roots in Lebanon. Palermo was founded by the Phoenicians in 734 BC, who originate from what is now known as Lebanon. 3. The Black Death started in Messina. In 1347, death ships started floating near the city's vicinity, when sailors and passengers were turning up dead or dying. This was the start of the Black Death, a pandemic that eventually killed about 1/3 of the European population. 4. Catania has been buried by Mount Etna 17 times and bombed 87 times. Living in the shadows of an active volcano like Mount Etna is a very risky proposition. Consequently, Catania has been buried in lava 17 times. Under the existing city, you can find the Roman city, which is built on the Greek city. And if that isn't enough, Catania was bombed 87 times during World War II. Catania was home to 2 German airfields, and so it was targeted in 87 air raids by heavy Allied bombing. The city was badly damaged, killing about 750 inhabitants, until the British Army liberated Catania in August 1943. 5. Palermo was an Islamic city. By 1050 AD, Palermo was one of the most important Islamic cities in the world. Under Arabic rule, Palermo became a major center for culture, commerce and education. Number 21. The Greek influence. Sicily was home to the Greek civilization in ancient times, so it's of no surprise that there are lots of Greek ruins all over the island. The most well-known ancient site is the Valley of the Temples, in Agrigento, where there are 8 Greek temples, built between 510 BC to 430 BC. The Greek theatre at Taormina is open to the public to watch concerts. As is the culture throughout Italy, the ancient architecture is very well preserved, so it's not surprising to learn that many of Sicily's ancient Greek ruins are regarded as more beautiful than anything found in today's Greece. Number 22. People, music and the arts. Well-known people born in, or with a family connection to Sicily, include 1. The famous mathematician Archimedes. Archimedes was one of the leading scientists of ancient times. As a mathematician, he is famous for first calculating pi, and also as an engineer. He was born in 287 BC in Siracusa, on the southeast coast of the island. 2. A famous Italian novel. Giuseppe Tomasi di Lampedusa wrote the famous novel, The Leopard. About the 1860s in Sicily at the time of the unification of Italy. The story is of a Sicilian prince experiencing life through the cultural transition and struggles that took place on the island as Sicily was absorbed into the unified country of Italy. 3. Domenico Dolce, one half of the iconic fashion house Dolce & Gabbana, is from the north of the island. 4. Musician and composer Vincenzo Bellini was from Catania. Number 23. The food. You'll love these delicious snippets of information. 1. Ice cream for breakfast. Sicilians eat a creamy sorbet-style bread sandwich called granita, which is brioche con gelato, for breakfast. It comes in many flavors including pistachio and almond. 2. Sicilian pizza is different. Known as sfincione, which means sponge, it's of rectangular shape, and is a thick crusty bread covered with tomato sauce and other toppings such as anchovies, cheese, herbs, and onions. It's therefore different from the traditional Neapolitan and Roman pizzas. 3. Cannoli hails from Sicily. Originating from the Palermo and Messina areas, cannoli are synonymous with Sicily. Viewers of the Detective Montalbano television series will recognize its popularity. 4. Seriously strong coffee. Coffee culture is ingrained in the Italian way of life, and Sicilians are the same. There are lots of coffee roasting companies on the island, with those in the north favoring the sweeter taste of Arabica beans, while the population in the south tending towards the bitter taste of Robusta coffee. 5. Sicilians go nuts for pistachios. Pistachio trees grow all over Sicily. The fragrant green nuts are ideal for adding their distinct flavor to ice cream, pastries, and sweet fillings for confectionery, as well as an ingredient in rich pasta sauces, and a flavoring for meat and fish. 6. Other local delicacies include A. Arancini, which are deep-fried rice balls, and B. Panelle, which are crispy squares of deep-fried chickpeas. Number 24. The wine. Sicily is the fourth largest wine producer of Italy, known particularly for its Marsala wines. Considering Italy is one of the largest wine producers in the world, this is quite an achievement for the island, helped by the fertile and mineral-packed volcanic soil. This and the warm Mediterranean climate make it ideal for growing grapes, with the most productive regions being around Mount Etna, Noto, Ferro, and Vittoria. So, there you have it. 24 interesting and helpful facts about the region of Sicily in Italy that I hope you found to be of help and of interest, as well as fun. If you're serious about visiting, or working and living in Sicily, I highly recommend that you download and read your special guide, entitled, You Can Start a Brand New Life in Italy. Just click on the URL link in the description box below this video. Kindly leave a positive comment in the comments section below. And then, please share with friends. And enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe, and then click the grey bell icon to join an exclusive club of subscribers to be notified of all future videos being uploaded. Until next time, ciao for now.